Welcome to the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. This is your host, baseball player and entrepreneur, Gavin Johns. This podcast will empower you to reach your fullest potential in life. Inspirational stories, keys to success, and practical methods to overcome life's challenges will be revealed. I encourage you to be the light in the lightning and spark a positive change in the world today. How's everyone doing? Galvanize with Gavin video podcast. We have special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Austin Byler. Austin, thanks for coming on, my man.
Yeah, fired up for this, man. Let's get it rolling. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it as well. So just like every other special guest, I've been doing an introduction, so I'll introduce you, and then we'll get into the questions, if that's all right with you.
I love it.
Right,
let's go.
So Austin has quite the list of accomplishments along his journey thus far, and he's just getting started. So I'm excited for what's to come. But Austin was a baseball player at Nevada Reno, third base and first base. He was a mid-season Golden Spikes Award watch list, and he was a semifinalist for the Dick Hauser Trophy, which is the best player all around in college baseball. He ended up, after Nevada Reno, going on to play professional baseball for the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. And now he's a part of a lot of things, but his main thing right now is Major League University. He's a co-founder and CEO. He's a FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes board member. He's an inspirational speaker. So he's involved in a lot of things, and he's really making a big positive impact on this world for the kingdom, first and foremost, and then just to make the world a better place. So we're happy to have Austin on the podcast. Thanks again for coming, my man.
Incredible intro. I need that clip, and I'm just going to throw it on Instagram all day. Oh, I love it, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, praise God.
Amen.
So I wanted to give everyone a background, how you got to where you're at and maybe what you're doing now. So kind of to let everyone know, I wanted to ask, how and when did you start getting into the sport of baseball?
Yeah, so I think I came out of the womb swinging a bat left-handed. I'm not quite sure. I thank my dad every day for keeping me at lefty instead of going right-handed. But I started playing when I was young, man. I think 3 or 4 years old in the backyard. My brother was a year and a half younger than me, so we had some epic wiffle ball battles in the backyard and some high-intensity games throughout our whole life. And loved baseball, man. Had a huge passion for it. It was one of the greatest games of all time, and it just brought so much joy to me. And I happened to be pretty good at it. So going through there, I played through obviously Little League and then travel ball, and then getting into high school. When I got into high school is where some adversity started to hit. It was my senior season, and I had no offers, and I was doing really well. The whole year, we got to play on varsity for 4 years. Called up halfway through my freshman year, and then was a starter for the next 3. And I was killing it that senior season and had no offers, no opportunities, nowhere to go. And then May 26th, the day after our championship game, which unfortunately we lost again, I got the opportunity to go visit University of Nevada, and from there signed that contract, man, and was able to go there and play for the next 4 years from 2011 to 2015. And that really was where I got that belief that I could play professional baseball. I always wanted to play college baseball. I always wanted to play professionally, and then getting the opportunity to go Division I and just not even Division I, but play in college at any level was a blessing. And so going through college there, hit some adversity in the way, battled some injuries my sophomore season, which led to some unfortunate addictions for me as far as prescription medications and masking physical pain at the time, which led to anxiety and depression later down the road. Got to be drafted twice, my junior year and then my senior year, and then signed senior year with the Diamondbacks and played for the next 3 years and kind of pursued that next career, man. So that's kind of the brief playing background there. Had a lot of great coaches, had a lot of great mentors and people, teammates, friends, family, people along the way, man, in these communities that we were able to go to. And baseball has been a huge blessing, man, for my life and for our family.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely definitely been a journey for you, just like myself, but for both of us, it's made us not only stronger and more resilient, but it's helped build us into what we are today and preparing us for what's to come, so there's
Yes,
a lot
sir.
to take out of that. There's a lot to take out of that. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. So the next question, to build off that, about, just following up for the last question, what would you say are the three biggest things you learned from just your baseball career?
Yeah. Number one, keep showing up, right? Keep showing up. I mean, every day is going to be different. Every day is not going to be your best day. Cold days, hot days, good days, bad days, all around days. But keep showing up, and you keep putting your best foot forward. You're going to get the results that you want to achieve at some point, right? So keep showing up is huge to me. I take it now in business, and that was something that I learned from baseball. And we had 140 something games in pro ball, and then leading into life, there's 365 days a year, right? So you got to find a way to keep showing up for your family, your friends, and the people around you. And it's not always easy, right? It's not always easy. And number two, I truly believe that failure is your greatest teacher for growth. And so with failure, right, I used to see failure as this like horrible thing. Like, I hate failing. I don't like failing. It sucks. Like, why do I fail? And now I'm starting to see that, hey, every time I fail, it leads me one step closer to my next goal, my next dream, my next vision. And because of failure, we get to achieve the greatness that we want to achieve one day. So nothing great comes easy, right? We've heard that before, that we have to work for. We got to do the things that other people aren't willing to do to be successful. But when we see failure, embracing failure as a learning opportunity instead of allowing failure to distract us and dampen our mood every single day. Because in baseball, you might have a whole month that you fail, right? So finding a way to overcome that and learn from that. And then the last thing for me would be treating others how you would like to be treated. It's straight up out of the Bible, man. It's so powerful. Not judging others or condemning others. For me, it's about treating your teammates, treating your coaches, treating your family members how you would like to be treated in your life. And that's a big one through sports, man. I saw a lot of selfishness, and then I saw a lot of unselfishness, right? I saw really good teammates and kind of poor teammates. And the common denominator for me was the ones who treat others with respect, with joy, with encouragement and support are the ones who play the longest and are the ones who have successful careers after sports. So treating others the right way, man. You can never go wrong by doing that, especially in the communities through baseball. Seeing some small towns, a lot of small towns. We love working with small towns now with what we do. We go to a lot of them. Some of them have 100 kids at their high school, right? It's crazy how small they are. But the community is incredible, and those kids are looking up to you as an athlete. They glorify you, they idolize you, and they look to you for guidance. And if you're going to walk by them and not give an autograph, that kid remembers that, right? It dampens their moods. Just you stopping, saying hi, giving them a high five, a nux, an air five, whatever you got to do, give them a ball or something. That sticks with that kid forever. That creates a memory and an experience that now that kid is going to take it to the next step in their life. So that is huge. Never overlooking somebody else because of your own selfish reasons.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail. I know you hit the nail on the head right there with those three, and that just kind of reminds me. It's a good reminder for everyone that baseball or whatever sport you play, like it's more than the sport. It expands to different realms of life, and there is a bigger purpose for everyone on this earth than just playing their sport. So yeah, it's definitely very powerful. And thanks for sharing that.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that actually is a perfect segue into the next question about. I wanted to ask about Major League University and just what the team is all about and what you all have been up to and the impact you're making. Baseball, on the field, off the field, and what all that entails. If you wouldn't mind sharing with everyone about that.
Absolutely, man, all day. So MLU, we founded it in 2018, actually in September of 2018. So it's been about 3 years to date now that we started. The first year and a half, we had no idea what we were doing. We still sometimes don't. And it's a continual learning process, just like learning your swing or how to pitch. So for us, the business never really came easy. And I would say I didn't have a business degree or anything crazy background that taught us how to do this. It was all self-experimentation and self-knowledge and learning. And I truly believe in that you can learn anything in this world if you put your mind to it. So for us, we started in 2018. And the reason why was I was in indie ball, independent ball with my old teammate from college. we happened to just reconnect. We both got released in 2018, and then we both found this home in Schaumburg, Illinois, and we were living in the retirement home, kind of like we were talking off air. And so we're living in this retirement home. There's no AC. There's nobody under 80 years old in this place. And we're sitting there like, what the heck are we doing with our life, dude? Like, I'm hitting 080 at this point, and I'm facing 86 to 88 every day. Like, there's not good pitching. You can't make the excuse that the pitching is insane. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be something bigger for our life. Like, I'm over baseball. I don't want to play anymore. My passion's gone. Kind of saw the writing on the wall there. What's next, right? What's next? And so me and QB Meyer, my co-founder, we were like, dude, let's help people through mental health. Let's create an app for mental health that we can help anybody in the world. And then we're like, wait, let's just help athletes through mental health and through mindset and leadership and culture and all these other aspects of their life, because we saw the mental toll and grind that the game put on us, not only ourselves, but our teammates, and the things that people were doing to mask the pain that they were experiencing internally through their experience on the field. So for us, we decided, hey, let's start Major League University. I don't even remember how the name came up. My buddy's like, hey, Major League University, like, that is insanely good name. Let's go with it, dude. Like, let's rock it. So that's kind of how that popped up. And then we were just floundering around, man, trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And we finally just in 2019, I had an old coach of mine at Nevada, and he was coaching at University of Puget Sound. And he said, Byler, we need some help, dude. Our team does not believe in themselves. They don't think they can play at the next level. They don't think they can win this year. They're kind of down and out. Can you come in for 3 days and do a workshop like we did at Nevada when we had other people come in, and get these guys to believe in themselves? And I'm sitting here like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, I turn red when I speak in front of people. Like, I don't know if I could do this. And I went, right? I went, and we went there, and it was the greatest experience of my life. Those 3 days flew by. Got to spend time with the guys in the cage, in the classroom, taking them through my story, taking them through some different skills and tools. And at that time, I was just learning, man. I'm still learning, but I had no idea what I was going to talk about. And it was just being there in that experience and learning that when you lead with love and when you show up consistently, that really good things happen for you and for the people around you. So that was kind of where that kick started, the mental game side. And we started to go around and speak to different colleges and high schools and travel ball programs. And we'll go anywhere from 9U to 99U. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. I believe everybody needs it and can use it. And then sharing my story, going through the things that I've battled internally for so long, I believe it relates to a lot of athletes. So that's really where it all came about, man. And now we're doing camps, clinics, and then speaking engagements with a bunch of different programs, and really just looking to branch out, man, grow and help people. And then we'll do some leadership academy stuff too online, and then one-on-one calls as well with athletes.
Definitely. That's awesome. But, I've definitely seen, from afar and talking with you about it, that it's powerful, what Major League University is doing. And I think it's doing even bigger things than even, you or myself see on the surface. People are talking about it, and it's just, it's a great testament, to see the impact that everyone can have when they come together. In a positive light, you know what I mean? And the world, like we were talking about it, the world needs more of that, you know what I mean? And but it's a process, it'll happen, slowly over time. We just, like you said, we got to keep showing up and doing our part, and I believe, the rest will take care of itself,
Spot on, man. Spot on.
Thanks for sharing
that.
I love that. So I wanted to ask about, what you said about that mindset. So specifically, obviously, you said, you work with the athletes. For the baseball players, when you go into a workshop like that, with the team, what kind of things are you working on with the players for their mindset specifically?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different things. It really depends on the program, the what are the athletes struggling with. The main thing that I want to get across is identity, and not finding your identity in your sport, but finding your identity in who you are as a person. That one's first and foremost. If that doesn't click or connect for you, then you're not going to be the best athlete you can be on the field anyway. So finding your value in who you are, not what you do, is very powerful. And that's something that we lay out right away. And that's where I share my story with them and really connect that aspect with them, because I found my identity in my sport, not who I was for so long. So just having that relatability is huge. I know a lot of athletes struggle with that and wondering what's next. What do I do after baseball? Who am I outside of baseball? I've always been a baseball player, softball, basketball. What am I after I leave being an athlete? right? Who do I become? So the identity piece is huge for us, and really equipping them with who are you and who do you say you are as a person. The other things, we teach a lot of visualization, breathing techniques, failure plans, and reset buttons, which are just tools that we can use to process through failure a little easier. So reset button wise, I love the analogy that I get to use here. Thank you to my brother for this one, because he gave me the idea. And so I'm getting ready to go to a coach's clinic earlier this year in January. And I'm watching him play Madden, right? Madden NFL and the video games. And he's down 33-31. He's got a minute and a half left, and he's chucking it down the field, right? He's a no-run type of guy anyway. So he's just like passing. He gets to the 1 yard line. And on the 1 yard line, all he has to do is go beast mode, hand it off, jump over, or like if anybody's ever played Madden before, just QB sneak 4 times and you're getting a touchdown. Like, come on, dude. Like, you're winning the game. And he goes shotgun John. He looks, scans the field, throws it in the middle of the end zone. The dude catches it, INT, books it down the field, and he gets to about the 50-yard line. And my brother doesn't say a word. He reaches across to the PlayStation, boop, hits the reset button, looks me in the eye and says, "It never happened." And I'm like, dude, I just saw this happen. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not tricking anybody here. But what I got out of it was like, that's a reset button. Like, he literally just hit the reset button and forgot about it. And so for all of us, we can relate, as especially male athletes, most of us have played video games at some point or seen them, that I've hit that reset button when I got pissed off. I hit that reset button when I didn't want that stat to count, or when that score didn't want to count, right? I wanted to do better, or something happened. So for us, our mental reset button, what is our toilet flush? What is our reset button? What is our failure to process through things that aren't going our way? So that's a big thing that I like to leave athletes with, because it's real, it's applicable, it makes sense to them. At least I believe it does for most, and it's something they can take in. So simple breathing techniques, man, finding your focal point, a lot of the Ken Revisa stuff that we've heard before, if you've read Mental ABCs or any of those games, Heads Up Baseball too, some great baseball mindset books too. But just really making sure that these athletes, man, that you believe in yourself, that you can accomplish greatness if you put your mind to it, and then to stay away from some of the distractions that are so easy to fall into, right? Temptation can strike in so many different ways. So those are just some of the things that we discuss and talk about. But at the end of the day, man, if we can leave a university, a program, a high school, and those athletes believe in themselves more than they believed in themselves before they walked in, that's a win. That is a win.
Failures in life, that you make a lot of mistakes, and how do you hit that reset button, there, so you don't, come, out of work or whatever you're doing and take those problems home, with your family. And so, like, how do you hit that reset button there? So I think there's definitely a lot that people can take out of that. So thanks for sharing that. We talked a lot about baseball, talked about the mindset, talked a little bit about leadership. I wanted to ask, outside of baseball for you, outside of work, what are some of your hobbies and passions that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I love it, man. I love hiking. It's harder to hike in the middle of summer in Arizona because it's so hot, and that's when the snakes come out. So I try to avoid any hiking in the summer. But it's starting to turn. It's supposed to be 100 today, and then it gets into the low 90s, which is really nice weather for us here. So hiking is huge, man. I love getting outside. I love nature. I love being around water. I don't like being in the water necessarily, but I like being around it. Anything outdoors is big time for me, man. I'm not a big fisher, hunter, or anything, but I'll go out and watch. I'll hang out. And anytime I'm in nature, man, I just feel connected. I truly believe it's God's nature and God's country, and it's just, you feel so much more at peace when you're outside. I like going on walks, man. I love walks. I love coffee. Huge coffee fan. Huge wine fan. Big time a wine guy. So Temecula rings a bell. We might have to move there one day. And then just hanging around friends, man. Being around my family, spending good time with them, and going to different places. Top golf's always fun. I'm not a huge golfer, but I will go golf. I'm just not that great. So maybe that's why I don't go. But hanging with the fam, man, in any way, and watching the sports is always good too.
That's awesome. Yeah. The part you said about the connecting with the nature, for me, that's my reset button. When I'm out, there's not a worry in the world. I'm getting the oxygen from the trees, and just that peace. It's that peaceful state of mind, and it I'm able to take that into other aspects of my life. So I really liked what you said about that. So thanks for sharing about that.
It's so powerful, man. So powerful.
yeah, we have a lot of commonalities, I guess, as far as you know, the hobbies and stuff. You know, just getting in nature and doing something different. You know, because like you and I, we're hard workers and almost like obsessive. You know, like I heard Kobe Bryant say that. And a lot of other people say that with your sport. You have to be the best or the best you can be. You have to be all about it every day. You know, but it is important to have that. I've found moments throughout my day, throughout my week, to be able to reset, to be able to reflect, get back to a neutral state of mind, so that you can return and be able to be the best you can be whenever you're doing. So definitely.
Spot on, man. Spot on. It's so good. And then you get so many good analogies from nature, dude. Like you're hiking up the mountain, you're walking around the water, you see the water crash, and like it's just such a peaceful state of mind, man. You're right. You just feel connected. That's like the best way. It's like settles the waters, right? It settles any of the waves that are crashing in your life and just kind of boom, brings it back down to home base, lets you reset a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So last question. By the way, it's been phenomenal, by the way. I hope you've been enjoying
Oh, this has been awesome, man. No, I've been loving it, man.
But yeah. So, to wrap it up, I've been asking everyone on the Galvanize with Gavin video podcast, what is your favorite motivational quote, if you had to pick one?
Oof, that's a good one. I would say you can do anything you set your mind to. You can do anything you set your mind to. I believe it was it Ben Franklin or Thomas Jefferson? It was one of those two. Somebody from a long time ago. You can do anything you set your mind to. If you believe you can achieve something, you can achieve something. So that was probably my biggest one. You can do anything you set your mind to. We kind of used it as a tagline for a little bit too. It's just so real though. Like if you want to start a business, you don't need a business degree. You can go start a business. If you want to talk sports psychology, you don't need a sports psychology degree. You just have to study. And be a learner of the game and listen to other people who are really good. If you want to go be a teacher, be the best you can be in the teaching industry, right? Whatever you want to do or whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can do it. The only limitations we set on ourselves are the ones that we set on ourselves in our mind. And so for us as human beings, man, I just think so many of us are chained to our own thoughts. We're weighed down, we're chained down. We don't believe in ourselves for whatever reason. And it's not even a real thought. It's a false thought. It's fake. It's not real, but it pops up in our mind sometimes. And sometimes that inner voice inside of us keeps us from taking that leap of faith into something new. And so for what you're doing with the podcast, man, it had to have been nerve-wracking. It had to have been hard. Yeah. And you're like, I got to reach out to people and try this. I remember being exactly where you were, starting that 3 years ago, wondering who's going to be on my show. Are they going to like me? Am I going to talk? How do I get them? Where do I record? All these like things that I had no idea, right? And you learn. Right, you got to go through the trials to learn a little bit. So those are probably some of my favorite motivational quotes, and I try to live by them. Right? I really try to live by those and just continue to grow in those aspects, man. And anything in the Bible is real. So I love the Bible, man. That gets me fired up too. So every morning.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for your time, and just thanks for coming on Galvanize with Gavin video podcast. It was awesome, Byler, everyone. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Gavin. Keep crushing, man. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. You're doing great things to help a lot of people, man. So keep up that energy, that passion, that persistence, man. It's really cool. Love it.
Definitely. Thank you. I really appreciate that as well. And yeah, we'll talk soon, my brother.
Sounds good, man. Peace.
Thank you all for tuning into the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. I hope you were inspired and empowered to reach your fullest potential in life. For more resources, visit gavinjohns.com. For businesses interested in sponsoring the podcast, visit gavinjohns.com/sponsor. Thank you all, and God bless.